What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Raider Shadow Legends video, and we are back, finally we are back for another video. This time we're going to take a look at NOLDUA, the Glowaming for the Dark Elves, and she's a Force type legendary that is a Reviver support. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. She's definitely interesting because you don't have a lot of Dark Elves Revivers. And we're going to be talking about her fusion. How should you be approaching this fusion in order for you to don't compromise the amount of shards that you have in your account? Because this is a fragment fusion, and usually fragment fusions are easier than other fusions, while at the same time you can buy the shards directly rather than opening your shards. Buying your shards, everything is shards, right? Okay. Buying the fragments for her, buying the character shards fragments for her, rather than using your shards, your secret shards, your void shards, and so on. Because if you think about it, if you are someone that spends money on the game, it's going to be much cheaper for you to get unlock shards, fragment shards directly, rather than doing the opposite, rather than opening secret shards and so on. And because of that, you can complete this fusion without spending any shards, which is great because that's going to allow you to have a lot more shards for the anniversary in March, and that's going to be way more important. On top of that, we also have some events. We might get the first guaranteed event for the assassins this month, by the end of the month, in my opinion. We'll see about that. And yeah, I think it's going to be a Titan event like we had for April O'Neil, but we'll see. Okay, so guys, in this video we're going to cover everything that you need to know about this champion, how to approach this fusion, all the cheat codes that I can tell you in order for you to get her a little bit cheaper than she would be otherwise. And if I'm going for this fusion or not, the answer yes, but we'll talk more about that in a second. And yeah, why she's going to be important for her account. I think that's going to be very important as well to cover. But as always, if you guys like the information on these videos, make sure to share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Rachel Legends content, and make sure to smash that like button like a boss. Okay, so once again, she's going to be part of the Dark Elves support. She has a partner, but the partner is from the High Elves and he's a Void champion, so he's going to be very hard to obtain. We already saw him in action on the test server. He's very strong, and she's not like amazing, but her stats are very solid. So because of her stats being so solid, especially the HP, then she has a little bit more relevancy. And now with the Mercurial set, she is a champion that you can make quite fast, and because of that, she's going to have additional value. She will have additional survivability that she would not have otherwise. So it makes her slightly better than her kit makes her seem to be. Let's read really quick the kit. So single target attack on the basic, on the A1, she has 50% chance up to 75 of applying Enfeeble, which will make all your attacks weak hits. So you want to make sure that you are going for defense masteries to make sure that she has counter attacks. She also can apply weakness to bosses instead of Enfeeble, because bosses are immune to Enfeeble. And most of her abilities will not be resistible if you have the partner on the team. So we are going to ignore this from now on, because it's the same thing over and over again. Okay, the A2 is a 5-turn cooldown, can be reduced all the way to 3. And this is going to allow you to remove all buffs from the enemies. This is very strong because it allows you to remove stone skin if you have enough accuracy, so keep that in mind. And this is going to apply defense down to the enemies. These two abilities go in different ways, so you can fail to remove and still apply the defense down, or you can remove and not apply the defense down. So these are two resistant checks. She will also increase the attack for allies if you have the partner. The partner is attack-based champion, so it's nice to have. But if you have her with someone else, it's not going to matter much. And especially for faction wars, this is actually quite lame, because he's a high elf. She's a night elf, or a dark elf, or whatever she is. And because of that, she's not increasing the attacks of champions like a Xenomorph. So this is a massive L, and because of that, yeah, it's not great. Let's move on to the next ability. We have Revive All Allies with 50% HP and 50% turn meter. Once again, you want to make sure that she's the last standing. There are different relics that increase her speed bar when your allies die. You also have masteries that you want that, so you have to build her with defense and support. And after she revives, if you have the guy, you are going to get 100%. We think that it's on him alone, but that's something that we still have to figure out exactly, because people are testing, but people are not still paying attention to these details. Then she's going to apply a shield of 30% max health, so you want to make sure that you are building her with very, very high health, with very, very high speed, and with defense and accuracy. Yikes. Maybe not accuracy if you have the guy, but definitely with accuracy if you don't have the guy, so yeah. You can reduce the cooldown all the way to a 4 turn, so it's not great in this department either. It makes the shield very unreliable because, yeah, it's only 30% shield for 2 turns, so that's actually quite low. Then we have the passive. The passive is where she's really going to become amazing because all the turn meter effect from enemies will be reduced by 30%. So this is going to be your Stars of Dinyang, this is going to be your supersonic sets, this is going to be your defense abilities from like Freya and Donatello that increase your speed bar, a bunch of those. So 30% is actually a big nerf. That's the tier 2 buff of the supersonic set. Very, very powerful. And yeah, this is a huge nerf for your enemy team. That's why she's going to be so powerful. Even that in PvE game modes, Grim Forest, Cursed City and so on, this will be something of low value for most part. If the guy is on the team, fills the turn meter of this champion by 30%, and this will count like a Stars of Dinyang, which is absolutely massive, but you need to have the guy on the team. Is it likely for you to get this guy? Of course not. So keep that in mind. The second best part, like this first part is very strong. The second part is also very strong, but it's conditional. If there are multiple champions with this skill, only one will activate. If this skill is not copies of the flicklet of this a particular champion, so only occurs one time. Okay, the usual stuff. So it only activates one time, that's fine. Accuracy aura, 70%, that's pretty decent. Usually I tell you that champions will have increased value if you pay attention to their aura. So this is a champion that Plarium thinks that will be better than other ones. And I agree with that, like this passive is just absolutely ridiculous. Now, we are not going to cover this guy, is absolutely insane, but once again we have the aura telling us that these champions are on next level. But when you go back to the game and take a look at where NOLDUA is going to be massive, well, she's going to be massive like everywhere. The Grim Forest is going to be nice. Faction Wars on hard difficulty, she's going to be very important because once again, you want her to be very tanky and you want her to be very fast, and with Mercurial as well. So that means that against the different waves of enemies, you are going to be always protected by her. In terms of the Doom Tower, great. Cursed City, great. Grim Forest, great. In terms of Siege and PvP in general, I think she's gonna be like low mid. Nothing special, right? Really nothing special, because you have way other champions that do the same things. And again, it's nice, but it's not super crazy. It's not super crazy. The decrease turn meter feel will be important in some matches, but again, maybe that's going to be okay for live arena, but for classic arena and tag team arena, who's really going to switch champions around to make sure that you are benefiting of that? I don't think that's the case. You waste way too much time, so yeah. In terms of the clan bosses, I think she's going to be fine for either, but again, it's not a priority. She doesn't give any benefit that you really need for either. Clan boss, again, another one will be okay. Chimera, sure, it will be okay, but again, nothing really special. So yeah, the most value that you're getting from her is really for Faction Wars hard. Some people that are already farming Dark Elves on stage 21 on the hard difficulty of Faction Wars, they are still getting value out of this champion. So keep that in mind. She might be good enough to replace one of your other champions. And once again, if you don't have the partner champion, she's going to be very mid. I would say that overall she's like low B tier because you don't have the partner, right? If you have the partner, then she's going to be like A tier, maybe minus A. But right now she's like C plus or minus B. Okay. How are you going to be able to unlock this champion with the least amount of resources? Once again, she's going to be a Fragment fusion, so she's going to be one of these type of champions, which if you unlock her, you don't have to summon her right away. You can let her sit in your vault, and this is going to be 500 points for an event. It can be even the event where you get the partner, right? So this is something that you have to pay attention. The more Fragment fusions you have ready to unlock for certain events, the better it will be for you. But yeah, that's not the case. We are just specifying what type of fusion she's going to be. Now, during this type of events, you usually have Summon Rush, and you have the Champion Chase tournament, right? For Champion Chase, you should start building your Broad Moss and your Relic Keepers, making sure that all these champions are close to maxed out, so when you need them, you summon them, and there you go. Then you can get more points from your Remnant summons, if you have any. And of course, you want your shards, right? But I would not tell you to spend your shards. Recently, I changed my spreadsheet, where now, I'm not sure if you guys can see, but now I have this bar where it shows exactly how much value I have on my secret shards and so on. So I have $630 worth of shards on my account. So yeah, it's something that it allows you to put into perspective how much value you have in your shards. So being able to complete a fusion without spending your shards, that's going to be great. Okay, so apart from your Remnant summons, apart from your Fragment summons, and apart from your fusion summons that you can get points for, you can skip pretty much most of the events, and you're going to be able to get like 80 fragments without opening any shards. And if you're opening shards, remember you have mystery shards. Mystery shards, you cannot undermine the value of mystery shards for your account. So when you take a look at, for example, this Summon Rush that we have going on right now, I open 300 mystery shards just to get extra energy and just to get extra gems. The mystery shards by themselves is like 5 cents per shard, let's say that. So being able to capture this energy and these gems for free just by spending mystery shards, this is going to be a huge value for your account, because with this energy and with these gems, I was able to complete other events where I got the soul stones. For example, for the Gear Ascension tournament, I already finished it because I utilize all these opportunities to get extra value out of my shards and also out of my energy. So what this means is that if you are sitting on around 1000 shards of mystery shards, you can open all those mystery shards to get the fragments for the Summon Rush, and then you don't have to get the other ones, right? And then you can buy the last shards that you need with real money. But again, because it's going to be cheaper than buying sacred shards directly, this is going to be much better for you. I hope I'm being clear about this. But for example, I could open 1000 mystery shards just to get these 50,000 points, and then I don't have to do anything else. It's a huge cut on your budget, right? It's a huge cut because you will not have to spend as much. So between spending 6 sacred shards on one of these events or buying the shards directly, which is $5 for each 10 shards, which is still pretty expensive, but that will allow you to save a lot more by playing around with this way. So it's something that I'm going to do in order for me to complete this fusion. And again, I don't think she's game breaking, but I need her for my faction of Dark Elves. I don't have any reviver, and she's definitely going to be nice to have, especially as I go in my faction wars journey on hard difficulty. And with hard difficulty, the more stages you do, not only you are getting more glyphs, but you're also getting more relic materials, which you can sell for star stones and level up your other relics, or you can get more legendary relics and mythical relics and so on. So again, it's something that you are always trying to squeeze the most value out of your opportunities, and this is definitely one of the best ways to do it. So there you go, guys. That's my take on this new fusion. Again, I think she's a -B, around that, C+ or something like that. Like, she's not super crazy, but she's definitely going to be nice to have in the long run. So as always, if you guys like information on these videos, make sure to share the videos with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Raid Challenges content, and I will catch you guys later.